People say this a lot, but we are so back.
We're back. It's so good to be back.
This feels right. This feels safe.
It feels...
Our opinions are always best heard on a hot mic.
I love a table. I'd love to...
I struggle with the table. You know I have like ADHD and I'm gay, so I'm always like sitting in a complex way. Like this is light work for me. I'm like normally like balancing on one toe and seeing what happens. So I'm adjusting to this. We're in a new space. Yes. I will say if you're watching, for the folks watching at home, we're breaking the fourth wall right now. We're adding to it as we go. We want to make it our home. Yes. That takes time.
But we do have I'll say we have a family heirloom in the shot with us right now.
If you pan to the right, actually I'm gonna get it. And this holds again. This is so good. Okay, please, if you can,
do it like the influencers. Yes, thank you.
This is a framed photo that let me be clear. It's my 25th birthday. I get some mail from my mother. It's a framed photo of her and Michelle Obama with a note that says, "The frame was expensive." That's all. That's all. That was my happy 25th birthday. Mind you, the frame is broken. It's all clear. I had to like maneuver it. Anyway, so that's how we're starting off strong.
Yes, Mrs. Obama, you might have heard of her.
Yeah.
Our producing partner.
Mother to many, mother to us.
We're back. We're back on the Higher Ground audio network, and it feels good.
Did you miss us? Like, we really missed you guys.
There's been so much.
We need it. There's been a lot for us to talk about. It's been clenching our our DMs literally being like
DMs on Hunter. Fire. There was
a
weapon pointed at my head saying, "Get on the mic right now." But it's about to be summer. I know because my allergies are acting up, and you know what that means.
One thing.
I have watched all of 3 seasons of Summer House in a week.
You're a woman who works. Yeah.
I love it.
Wait, so where did you start?
I started season 8. That's Sierra's, she had been on the show, and then this was West's first season, Jesse Solomon's first season. Yeah.
Okay.
And all the Lindsay and Carl stuff goes down.
Well, how long do we have?
No.
Not long enough.
Tell me, just quick hits. Tell me how you feel about the cast.
Okay, just for clarity, I've only watched season 8.
Okay.
I'm
a really good
not up to
season.
speed on like what's happening right now, and I'm trying to get there, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of it's a complicated web. Her web connects us all. Lindsay's.
Andy?
Lindsay's. No. Lindsay Hubbard. Mother Hubbard.
Well, a couple things. My first responses to watching the show, thinking about people who use summer as a verb, it's something I don't often and can't really relate to. One day I would hope to. But I didn't expect to see so much away luggage. I thought it would be, like, I thought it was going to scare.
You know how away luggage is. And I say that as a believer and a defender.
And as someone who's never paid for away
If you
luggage.
have 300 followers on Instagram, you can get you some away luggage. We can find someone. It would be
so, like, accessible in like the way that they dress and their jobs and their luggage.
Oh, no, it's regular. It's real regular.
I was like, oh, this is low-key, no offense to anybody at first. That was my first thought. And then I got to know my family, obviously. I will say, Paige, that's my sister.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's my sister.
Have you watched Feast and Eat Reunion?
Yeah. Whoa. I love how that barks for her bitch. She was like, don't, and keep my girl's name out your mouth.
She said, you should be so lucky to be Sierra's boy toy. Yes. You should be, many men have applied and not been hired.
I got really scared though, because I did see, I didn't know who these people were literally 2 weeks ago. And then I Googled Wes Wilson's image and I said, so where's his upper lip?
He's got the body of a garden gnome to me. It's like, I want to see him guarding a garden. That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like.
It's like that upset me and my homegirls, obviously. But Sierra stan through and through.
J'adore.
When I tell you I was watching this show holding my purse close every time that couple came on screen.
Kyle and Lindsay?
Yeah.
Kyle
both,
and...
honestly, Amanda and
Kyle, Carl and Lindsay.
Both of them. Carl and Lindsay specifically this season, though. She wants him dead.
I'll say it's rough to join a show. And by join a show, I mean like start watching new drama. And Lindsay says to Carl, I think that you have relapsed. I don't think you're sober anymore. Cut to like one episode later. So I didn't actually think that, but like I was just really pissed at him and I had to say something.
And over and over again.
Girl, that's crazy.
It actually like really pained me to watch because I first thought seeing a sober person on a show like this was so cool. I was like, oh, that's really awesome because like that's such a tough space to navigate.
Absolutely. And he doesn't, I think he wears it very well, like very maturely. And once you find out like about his brother and all, like why he's sober now.
I also didn't realize they were older than I thought. Except for Wes,
Kyle
who seems
is about
young.
57.
Kyle's a grandfather.
No,
in some communities.
but I love him. Gilf.
I saw him get rid of the mullet though.
Yeah,
so
once he started the mullet, it's like, okay, so there is a diva underneath all of that hair.
Why
and
didn't you say so?
Couldn't be happier about it. Okay, reunion's just around the corner.
Yeah.
Now that all of this stuff has gone down.
I know. Well, we have to talk about Sierra.
Yes.
That was the reason we locked in the first place.
Yes, because I thought this is the most beautiful, fascinating woman in the world, and this cannot be the person playing in her face with her best friend, ex-best friend. Sierra and West dated briefly. West broke up with her in like the most cruel, gave an exit interview to the New York Times, basically. Crazy.
Which New York Times, get a job. Get a career. That's it. They just call anybody, huh? Except us.
They just call anybody. Yep, they do. No, really one of the more shocking New York Times interviews I've read in a while. Then Kyle and Amanda, marriage is breaking down. Sierra literally defends Amanda to Kyle. And honestly, Amanda wasn't even in the right in some of those fights. And we can go back and forth on that. But all of a sudden, it pops up, Amanda and West.
Yeah.
Was about to do something.
Bumping purses. Scissoring.
I love when you say that straight people are scissoring. No, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. And so there was speculation before.
There was some speculation, yes, that they were together. But it's like, that's so unreal. Like, how could you ever? It would be like Taylor Swift hooking up with, I don't know, Orlando Bloom after he hooked up with Selena Gomez for that one summer. Deep lore.
I just did long division in my head. I said, wait, I'm carrying the one. But yes. It's really nasty. I was watching Euphoria last night, actually, and I was thinking the Maddie, Cassie, Nate of it all.
We'll get into that. We'll put a pin in Euphoria. Because I have
Because we legally have to come back to it. Yeah.
But yes, I talked to Sierra for the cover of Glamour, and she's just as lovely as you would think.
Yeah.
And I think... I'm going to say I think Wes should be evicted from Summer House, from New York City.
Okay.
From planet Earth, in fact.
He said, Mom, Donnie, get on your Zoom.
Truly. And he is Team Sierra, too.
Oh,
yes, he literally is. Okay, but with the reunion, I'm like, oh my gosh. I was talking to Sierra about it. Like, how are you preparing? Like, what are you thinking? And because I would come in to that reunion with, and so what about this? And what about this? And what about that? And who said this?
Timelines.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would come up with a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And say, look at the screen. So what was happening?
With
the pointer. To be like, and so what was happening here and here?
Yeah.
What do you think about the reunion?
Well, I feel like I have more work to do to like get more angry specifically. Because I'm already angry just watching one season in general.
Yeah.
But I feel like 9 and 10, I'm sure I'm just going to get more activated. But you know what's interesting to me is when I started watching the girls' dynamic, I wish I almost watched without knowing the news. But Amanda never seems like that good of a friend to Sierra.
Never that girl.
Like Paige and Sierra together, I'm like, oh, I'm so locked into your guys' like love. Like I so appreciate how they are together. I so see the way I am with my friends with them. And Amanda seems like she is local. She's nearby. She's Jersey in a group chat by proxy, but not be like out of importance.
Right.
So like,
and once
it starts to check.
Once Paige leaves the show, like she's on in season 10, and she's sorely missed. But it's sort of like Amanda is just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like she's so. I mean, I love a boring white girl, but she's like so not even Hailey Bieber. She's just, I don't know. There's a road to nowhere.
Yeah. And like, I mean, because I only think about her and Kyle. You know, I'm not really thinking about her and the girls.
And Kyle is a personality.
Kyle
knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
That
Kyle
crazy
is
bitch.
Crazy. But in a way, okay, have you seen the TikTok?
I want a DJ. Like, what? White boys like that, though.
But whenever he talks about Loverboy, I'm like, your boss baby ass job. Like, okay, totally.
But why was I stoned trying to order some, girl? They're sold out of a lot of flavors, by the way.
Just because the business is in shambles. Because Kyle's not on his Zoom. But have you seen the TikTok where someone is interviewing him on the street? It's like a man on the street TikTok interview. And someone is like, okay, so how's the cast taking it? Like, how's everyone doing? And Kyle is like, I haven't really talked to anyone about it yet. It's just really hard time. Carl's a mess. And it's like
verbatim?
Verbatim. He says Carl's a mess. And Carl is like, so I'm safe.
I'm fine, by the way.
I'm okay. But Carl being a mess, I love his big heart.
I like Carl too. I'm so glad that they broke up.
I love Carl and all 497 of his teeth.
No.
We just had to get that off of our chest because, sometimes the spirit moves me. But we have a lot to talk about today. Our first episode back, I still can't believe it. We're going to be talking about a little culture catch-up, rapid fire, everything that we missed. And then we're going to have Luke Marr on.
Yeah, Hautelemode. If you're familiar, get familiar.
Talk about the Met Gala. A little Met Gala preview.
Yeah.
And listen, pencils up. I'm ready to take notes. I'm ready to learn.
Yeah. We're going to be such bad bitches by the end of this episode. We do a full costume change. Could you imagine?
It's like cut to us in gowns.
Yeah. I see it.
Are you looking for a safe space for your secret celebrity opinion?
Do you need someone who understands your latest internet obsession?
We're a pair of decade-long best friends who connect over fussing
and discussing
all things pop culture.
We're your first stop after that TMZ push alert. From Higher Ground Audio, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Lemme Say This.
Let me say this.
Let me say this.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Okay, this is like a here's what you missed on Glee segment. Okay, that's what we're calling it. Because there's so much we didn't get to talk about on the mic, so we're gonna do it now, but in the form of like a lover hater kind of segment.
Just
if you know, you know.
Wrap up. Of what you missed on us. Coachella, lover or hater?
Lover, plur. It was actually, I was watching up until 3:00 in the morning. Mind you, we had a flight at 8 the next day. I was up until 3:00 in the morning waiting for Justin Bieber to come on. And I would do it all over again. This was like one of the first Coachellas I was like, I wish I was there.
I love a YouTube night. I love a YouTube night.
I love Big Guy music video night.
It's poignant because where did his career start? But on YouTube.
I know. And he looks so sexy. That's the most beautiful lesbian I've ever seen besides myself. I will also hold a quick gay space for I'm a Slater apologist now.
Okay.
We're turning up.
Okay.
I'm going to say that off the mic. But watching Slater's live performance at 3:00, like house filled. Listening to Crank, hearing her say, I get so gay off the tequila we're lit. I'm just like, it's morning, relax.
No, I know a thing or two.
Off that tequila. You get a little bisexual off that tequila. Bi-curious at the very least, Okay, sorry, I'll shut up. All right, lover, hater, Justin Timberlake DUI video.
Lover. I know cinema when I see it. Do you think I didn't watch the entire video? Most people just watched him in the streets. No, I watched all of it. I watched when he got to the precinct, if you will. The way that this boy, you know how like the
boy.
No, I'm talking about the cop.
Oh yeah.
Because there was a rumor that like Justin Timberlake had said this is gonna ruin the tour, the world tour. It was actually much worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
The way the cop looks at JT and says, yes, well, you like had several traffic violations. Like, and so that's why we pulled you over because you are drunk. And he said, well, what were they? What did I do? Just so I know for the future. That is how a white woman argues.
Yeah.
Just tell me so I know for the future.
Which is ironic because him going, white?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, sorry.
Literally the cop was like, well, you were driving in the wrong lane, you missed a stop sign, and you were driving in the opposite lane.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, okay, good to know.
Also, the world tour when he goes, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, no, truly. Because it's like, how do you, he's like, I'm Justin Timberlake. He's like, who? He's like, I'm Justin Timberlake. He's like, great, do you have ID? That was the most humiliating moment I think I've ever seen an adult man witness.
That was beautiful.
Outside of Washington, D.C. Okay, lover or hater, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Your Real Housewives of Salt Lake City journey. Where are you?
Well, I was a hater for a while of Real Housewives in general. Like I was like, I'm too sensitive for this space. Yeah, I was like, I'm way too pure-hearted to get in there.
Some people drink coffee. I drink a little bit of Nene Leak season 5.
God, I know, and she took a hit of that today on her way in. But when I tell you, I didn't expect it to outsell Real Housewives of New York for me. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is just as good as I say. Just as good as the legend says. In a way. I thought Jen Shaw would be, and then there's Monica. And then there's Bryn. Not Bryn, that new girl. I forgot her name. Maybe it's Bryn, actually.
I'm still in shock.
I am.
Aviva Drescher threw her leg off of a table. She said, "You think anything's fake about me? The only thing fake about me is this."
You did take a hit of that Real Housewives this morning. You said, "Nene, wake me up." That's my alarm clock. I've just like, it's activated me and my brain in a way where I was like, oh, I understand now. I understand many more communities and many more plights of a lot of white women, actually. It's like, Salt Lake City is some real good fucking TV. I'm active. I'm lover down. Lots of love in this house tonight.
Well,
Someone like
listen,
us.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long break. It's been a long hiatus. What can we say? We're different now.
Speaking of some white mess, lover, hater, Beckham drama.
Oh,
Beckham family drama.
Lover. So for one moment specifically, when, just to catch you up so quickly, Brooklyn Beckham, son of David and Victoria Beckham, has like left the family to join Nicola Peltz's family by marriage. And in this cut article about this like family schism, Nicola made a movie, but then cut Brooklyn out of it because he kept looking directly at the camera. She cut her own husband out of her movie because he looked at the camera too much. I said, oh. She said, oh, damn. You know she's behind the camera like, oh, not again.
Okay, she's on tour for that.
I love it. I can't get enough.
I tried to, actually, I'm not even kidding. I tried to order the book and I was going to give it to you for your birthday. Sold out everywhere, by the way. His photography book. Because I'm always getting Hunter some camp-ass gift that she's never going to use.
No, I do use the Love Island water bottle.
Okay,
yes,
great.
that has my name on it. It's like the official one. Okay, let's talk about what are you looking forward to in the pop culture sense.
In the pop culture sense.
Yeah.
I will say, right now we're recording and we're 2 episodes into Euphoria. I'm never looking forward to it, but I am, especially this season, oh my God. Rue as a
smash
top.
Or pass?
Smash every time. When I tell you, hearing her, this is one scene of hearing her like kind of like talk this one stripper she's working with through it. I love, Rue is Zendaya as a gay. Zendaya as a gay. I'm looking forward to more of that. I hope to get more of it.
Okay, question for you.
Yeah.
Euphoria season 4 or The Idol season 2?
Idol season 2.
That's the right answer.
I'm just a freak. Yeah, I know the choreo.
No, but like just for the album alone. Someone said, I asked this question on Twitter, someone said abortion. And I am pro-choice.
Honestly. Okay, wait, what are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Dune 3, a little indie movie called Dune 3.
This is a day of Stan account, but yeah.
I guess it is. I'm looking forward to Dune 3 and most looking forward to how Club Chalamet acts during the Dune 3 rollout. Because she's left her post for a while. We'll see what happens. I am still logged on every platform except for the one that she doesn't know I have.
Oh my God.
And I'm also looking forward to The Odyssey, the Christopher Nolan movie, which also has Zendaya and also has Travis Scott. And so I cannot tell you the number of times I've sit up at night wondering, so was Timmy like, what the fuck? Like, huh?
Probably. Yeah.
I don't know. If I've seen Travis Scott in person and he is the most charisma deficient man I've ever seen.
I believe you.
And it's like, yeah, white boy from LaGuardia stole your girlfriend. Totally.
Wait, nothing I love more than white mess. Cannot wait for the Alex war to start. And for us to be on the side, I was like, oh my God. I love when white girls fight. I love when they bark. I love when they say, pull up.
You know the Addy? Pull up. If I were you, I wouldn't. Lana Del Rey.
Somehow we got to get Lana Del Rey to like mediate.
No.
To see what happens.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I can't wait. Watch this space. It's going to be
Alex Cooper
good.
versus Alex Earl versus, I guess, everyone's patience. I don't know what you want to say.
Yeah.
But I am excited. I heard there's a big VF story dropping about Unwell Network.
Oh.
It'll probably be out by this time this comes out.
And
so
I will say,
check
and
back
then
in.
come here first. Yeah. We'll do the reading you don't want to be doing.
I mean, there's so much more that we could talk about here. Like Taylor Swift wedding, like the Olivia Rodrigo album, Taylor Swift response to the Olivia Rodrigo album. But we'll save it for the time.
Yeah.
We'll be here. The time. But next we're gonna talk to Hautelemode. I love that accent.
Yeah, that was nice, actually. It was good.
So stay tuned. Oh my God, you guys, the Met Gala is around the corner and I'm a bit of a fashion girl. I'm wearing a little kitten heel today. So just so
I'm gonna step this pussy game up.
Clock it. But we are ready to talk about the Met Gala and we have someone very special with us.
Oh my God, we have the perfect person. Fashion critic and YouTuber Hautelemode who goes by Luke Mar. You're like, your government name?
That is
my
his
government
name.
name.
Keep it in. That's just, I occasionally go by my government name, but depends on who's asking. We're so excited to have you in the space. I mean, I've been a fan since I worked at Paper, which was
redacted years ago.
Redacted years, yeah. Don't look it up. And like since then, I've just been like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. You're so smart and like so quick and also so cunty in a way that we really need in this space right now.
We did.
Right now and
I'm
always.
very honored.
Actually.
I'm very honored. I'm very blessed.
And you're our first guest. I just have to say, you're our first guest on the relaunch show.
I'm so excited.
We are setting a tone.
Oh, I'm like so happy to be here.
We're setting a tone.
We're setting a tone. Yeah.
It's about to
We're
get
rebranding as fashion girls now.
joint group.
Okay,
joint
so we
side.
have a question that we ask every guest that comes on the show, which is, are you a lover or a hater?
Oh, I'm a hater.
Right,
100%.
right.
I felt that from you.
It's important for me to acknowledge my truth, and I am truly a hater. Like,
this is a safe space for hate.
I've always been that way as well. I might not have always voiced it because nobody was putting a camera in front of me, but now that
Like,
I yap
let's
for a
cook.
living,
Yeah.
I'm on it. My boyfriend said to me literally this weekend, he was like, you're like a glass half empty kind of guy. And I was like, you're so right. How did you know me so well? So yeah, I am. I think it's important for somebody to be, there's a lot of lovers in the world.
Yeah.
And that's great. And I'm happy for them.
Mhm.
I just am like I'm not so easily swayed.
You're not
you
trying to
know?
sway someone.
You're
Like-
harder to impress.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I don't
Yeah.
think we should always be impressed by everything.
Especially imagine if like all of fashion was just lovers. We would get nowhere.
Here's the other thing.
Nothing
is,
would ever
like,
get done.
Fashion is in fact full of a lot of haters that say they are lovers. Like that's the thing that the girls don't, the girls are always like, oh, that sucked. And then we go to, meet the designer and it's like, I love that. It was so great. Not me. I just don't go
what
backstage.
do you say? You just mum's the word.
Oh, no comment. They're like, do you want to go
Silence is
back
golden.
and meet the designer? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Thank you so much. I'm good.
We need more of that, actually. We need a lot more of that.
Because like sometimes you're a little underwhelmed, and like I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay to be
Yeah,
overwhelmed.
yeah.
It's not, I'm not a good.
You're not a liar.
liar.
You're not a liar. You're a hater, but not a liar.
Yes,
That's important.
I
I
think
love
that's
that.
really that's the truth. That's my truth.
Okay, are you a lover or a hater of the Met Gala theme this year, costume art?
I am a conscientious observer
Okay.
in the sense of it's not specific enough because I think it's like fashion is art or art is something and fashion is it's there.
Something with the body.
Yeah. Great.
Exactly.
Love that. Should I know this before maybe 2 weeks from now? Yeah, absolutely. But do I? No. But I think it's great because it allows people that will never ever be on theme to kind of be on theme. But I hate it from the perspective of it's so simple in general that everybody who's anybody is going to be like, well, I have a print on, so it's art. And I'm like, And I'm very like a stickler about the theme. That's my big thing is like, you could be the best dressed person there. If you're not on theme, you're not the best dressed person because the brain isn't braining in the way that
you
it
could
should.
be anywhere.
Yes.
It's like when Hailey Bieber wore that suit. Was it last year to last year's Met Gala?
Yeah.
And I think it was like a last minute switch up because obviously, how could that be the choice?
Yes.
But it's like, girl, you could be literally walking around your neighborhood in that.
Yeah.
Not to be rude.
But I also feel like there's like, we're never looking to Hailey Bieber to step outside the box that she has made
as
for
a
herself.
believer, as a Hailey believer, sometimes I am.
And let me know when that happens. I'll be here waiting.
And she does have her
which is
moments
fine.
sometimes.
Yeah. It's like I think like I love a basic beautiful white woman. I think that's allowed in this economy. I think it's like more so looking to the people that like you have all the resources and like expectation to do more and like, go hard.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Tiana Taylor or like someone or Rihanna always even, but like the people that are the heavy hitters, I'm always looking for like what you're gonna do with this. And this is a weird theme for that to like express.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of like, okay, I like love a Rothko or a Monet, and like that's what I think people are gonna do. And to a degree, at least it's on theme, so kind of like fine. But I do like when people put a little thought and energy and research into it, even if like your team's doing the research and you don't really care. Just like let the team,
let someone direct you.
Yeah. Like, let somebody.
I love this story.
Let somebody do like Bubble Coil in Trouble. Like, please.
We went here.
Yes.
We went 3 witches really fast. I liked it.
It's true.
Okay, are you also lover, hater of Jeff Bezos backing the Met Gala as like the main sponsor this year?
Not a lover. I think that it's also fashion's in like a weird area. And so that's kind of maybe why they've gone in that direction. I also think it's hard to do luxury fashion and then it also is like Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing. I'm not like as much of a like rah-rah pitchforker as everybody else. I think also part of it is I understand that one, the Met is like a fundraiser. And so the Met or the Costume Institute inside of the Met doesn't actually make any money from the Met. It has to be all self-funded and it's been like that for forever. I think part of that is like misogyny and seeing fashion as like not a viable form of art that like deserves, respect, which also goes like into the theme. And I think that's what they're going to explore in the exhibit. So there is a lot of fundraising from billionaires and corporations, but it's also always been like that. So I'm not as much like clutching my pearls, but I do think that the conversation around it much more is important and good that's being had, that like people are recognizing that. You don't have to like it. But it's also good, I think, that like last year when it was, I don't know, maybe it was Meta or TikTok or all those years before, like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of interested by the difference of reaction, I would say.
I think also the difference in presentation. There's something about Jeff Bezos, like, getting into Hollywood and like now trying to like get into fashion with Lauren Sanchez, also like being styled by La Roche. All of that feels like very specific positioning where it's like Meta's sponsoring something and it's like, okay, who cares? We all see how Mark Zuckerberg dresses.
And it's true because I look at it from like a very historical lens. Fashion, especially like haute couture and luxury fashion, has always been patroned by the uber wealthy since, Charles Frederick Worth in like the late 1860s, 1870s. It's always been that. So I'm not shocked by it, where I think a lot of people maybe are. And I think it's, again, good to like have that conscious understanding that like, yes, these are the people,
let's start asking questions. Let's be considering this.
There are people that go to these stores and they drop like 2 million, 3 million in a day in like a 2-hour span. And then, maybe next week they do it all again. Like that is what luxury fashion is. Like it's a VIC, as we call it, a very important client. Like that's who really spends a lot of money. And that's also who these people are. So I think it's a good general conscious waker-upper that we're sort of like, and maybe this is what it sort of needed. I think it's interesting that it's very heavy on like Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez as like sponsors instead of it being like Amazon. And it goes back to the positioning.
Not Amazon because it's like, who's gonna buy something? Who's gonna buy fashion on Amazon?
Many people.
Well, I mean,
like literally a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I do want to ask though, quick aside.
Yeah.
How do you feel about La Roche styling Lauren Sanchez?
I think the thing about Law too is like I think a lot of the stylists are like in it for the game. Not all, but like, I think, Law wants to make money.
Yeah.
So like, that's what it is. I also think that people maybe think a lot of the stylists get paid a lot more than they do. And I think they don't actually get paid, some of them, as much as we probably think. So I'm not pro it. I'm not like anti it. I'm kind of, again, more of like a conscientious observer of it. If you're going to have anybody style you, I prefer it be Law. Like, if the billionaires are going to like patron anything, I'd rather it be like the best of the best instead of the not best of the best. So
we saw how she used to dress too.
Yeah. And I don't think that it's really like changed exponentially.
Well, that's what it is, yeah.
You know,
I
I'm
feel like
not,
it hasn't shifted too much, but also it's like she just like, I wish I had like a more, she doesn't have that swagger, is what I was about to say. She just doesn't got that sauce on her. You know what I mean?
know,
No
I
matter
would
how,
agree.
a lot of people with money still don't have fashion or like style or taste at all, which is, of course, why you hire La Roche. But it's like, it always shocks me when like really rich people still dress like shit.
Yeah, and it's again, a lot of the time it's about how you hold yourself in a
Yeah,
garment. It's
yeah,
about, and I
yeah.
think that's why like a Teyana Taylor or a Zendaya are really great, is because they have an understanding that the clothing is also not the whole expression, but a part of the expression, and the other part of the expression is you. So if you were just kind of like holding yourself prim and proper like this, and you're wearing, you know, vintage archival Galliano, great. But like, you know, you have to do something more. And so I don't think that these people really care enough to do the actual like work of hair and makeup and aura and energy, posing, and the clothing on top of it to have that effect. And so it's kind of like, well, like I don't have to cover it also. That's the other thing. Like I haven't been, I think maybe I've talked about Lauren once, even though she's been on sort of like a fashion-y, you know, press run for the past year. Like I like a chic client. Like I like a lady that spends a lot of money on a lot of stuff. But I like for them to be chic. I like for me to be wowed. I like, you know,
and drama.
Yeah. And so like, again, if you're going to do it, like do it right. And if you're not going to do it right, well, like, okay, like I'm not going to waste the airtime, you know?
You said you're not even worth the tape.
That's it.
Yeah. I love a real hater.
Make me
impress me.
No, that's it. Like, for what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, you know, if I can't use you in the thumbnail, like, diva, please.
Diva, please.
My life goal has now just shifted to being like, I got to get on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I was like,
Get on the
I'm getting to
thumbnail.
work after this and I'm getting on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about previous Met Galas.
Okay.
Favorite theme?
Ooh.
I will say, I think the best theme was the Catholic imagination.
You stole my answer.
Sorry. No, that was the best. As like a Catholic school girl down, I thought it was so fun to see how people like interpreted a theme that was so specific and clear, but also had a lot of room for imagination.
Yes. And
literally.
I think that's a really, really great one. I do love the American ones, like the Americana. There was the two-parter. It was like 2021, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I like those because I like history. And so I love the fact that people sort of, or some people, dug deep into American history to sort of pull out archival sort of references.
Was that when Zach Posen did that like denim moment?
Yes,
for,
the Debbie Harry.
Yeah.
I thought that was really beautiful. I think last year was also like a really, really fascinating theme, because I feel like I learned a lot about sort of Black American fashion historically. And then also like pulling back into, again, like the traditional sort of, I guess it's, let me do my West Coast African inspirations there. And so like it really was like a fascinating, and then the exhibit in and of itself was really, really cool, really beautiful, really well done. So I like the ones that really do get deep into the historical element. And I think that's also why I am a hater, is because if people don't see or try to really understand what they're playing into, then like, I get why you're here, but like, why are you here? And like, why are you wasting our time?
Right. You can go to any carpet. Like,
go to the Oscars, go to the Grammys. Like, I think maybe
They're
the Oscars.
accessible.
Yeah. But like, the
just
SAGs,
invite
Emmys,
anybody.
like, some of them, it's like, you can have your moment. VMAs, go to the VMAs. You know, I feel like they'll let anybody go, you know? So it's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
calling them local as hell. I'm obsessed. Okay, what do you think were some of the biggest Met Gala flops of all time?
I do think the Haley last year was like very disappointing.
That was rough.
Wait, can I?
Yeah,
because
Oh my God,
I
go
do
for
have
it.
references. There's a lot of looks to
And I'll name them.
the Kim, Marilyn Monroe, John. Yeah, that one was tough, really, because the historical implications of it is like, she did tear the dress. People can say that she didn't tear the dress. She tore the dress. And not in like
Not
a...
no. I love how you said, oh.
not that way.
I mean, broke just really fast.
Literally, not figuratively, literally, but she literally tore the dress. And I think that's such like that dress, again, historical artifact. We're going to this event to observe and to revere the beauty and the history of fashion. Don't do that to the, Happy Birthday, Mr. President dress, which again, like it's just such a mishmash of like fashion and history and, American politics. And you ripped it. And Ripley's, believe it or not, still mad. I don't know if they're a sponsor, but still mad at you guys for letting her
we
wear
can't
it.
talk about Ripley's on that. Yeah.
Oh my God,
We're backed by
please. No.
Could you imagine? That'd be so calm, actually. Oh my God, I'm
Sorry.
Yeah, I would love that.
Who else? Wait, I have more. Oh wait, maybe. Oh, the Kim floral, like the couch dress. Remember?
Okay, listen. No, she was
pregnant?
very pregnant.
Yeah,
Okay,
which is fine. But I think it was so bad that it almost became camp. She was a little early to the camp exhibit by like 5 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it's also fun when the fashion choices maybe are so bad. Even like some people would say that the Rihanna Guopé, the big yellow omelet dress, like people would say that was bad. I think that was like the whole reason she became such a meme.
I loved that dress.
I do too. But I think there's a beauty in when fashion breaks through into like a real mainstream conversation. And I think the Met is probably like the biggest example of that. But when those looks really are like seared into people's brain, like I could talk to my parents and they'd be like, oh yeah, like the Rihanna omelet. Like, I think,
of course.
Yeah. And so it's the same thing as like Kim as the floral couch. Like it's so bad that in reality, like I'm kind of happy again that it broke through into the mainstream and is like a cultural moment,
Well, wait, how did you feel about, was it the Met Gala? She wore that like, she covered her
it was
face.
like the Balenciaga.
She was so Kanye.
Yeah, I don't think that was on theme, so I think I hate that.
Probably, yeah.
I thought it was like fun, and I think that when Kim also plays on herself and like the cultural perspective of her, which she does do on occasion, I think that's where I'm most locked into her world is like when she's kind of poking fun at people poking fun of her and like acknowledging what the presentation of herself is.
Yeah.
I know maybe that's a little heady, but
I mean,
like
I found that one to be the most like interesting at the very least. But she's also a good example of someone who like you just don't have the sauce to like sell what you're trying to like.
But like sometimes she does.
Some rarely.
Ironically, I think her post Kanye carpet moments have been, at least at the Met Gala, have been better to me.
Yes.
Than when she's just like Kanye's telling her what to wear, and it's like
creative directing her life.
Yeah. It's like, well, listen, this is not the muse that you think it is.
There was like that like Mugler. It was like a latex, and it had I think like she has her moments, I would say. For the most part, I'm like, oh, Kim. But then she like does one and I'm like, oh, brilliant. Okay, brilliant. And so,
I think I could still see the Calabasas on her. And so it's hard for me to like shake it.
Yes.
I'm like, I smell it on you,
girl.
sister.
Yeah.
It's all over you.
You know.
But anyway. Okay, wait, we're gonna do something positive. Best Met Gala moments of all time.
I do think the Guopé Rihanna is like so great and wonderful. Again, it's that breaking through mainstream kind of thing. And on top of it, like that, I don't know how many feet, yellow silk, like Chinese embroidery, fur, like iconic. I loved last year the Teyana sort of like Harlem dandy thing. It was that big, like it was so fun and beautiful. Like she's from New York. I'm from New York. I think, again, she got into the history of what the exhibit was. Like, there was a whole portion of the exhibit that was about the Harlem Renaissance and, like, the 20s and that sort of men dressing up and going out. And that's how they met, young women. And, it was so good. It's giving me a little bit of goosebumps. Like, it was, like, so great. And, like, check the bumps.
Check the bumps.
Yeah.
Bump cam.
Yeah.
Totally.
But it was great. Like, it was really, really a good one. Who else? Oh, not to be like, I usually am a Taylor Swift anti-diva, but I do think that, and not like personally, but like fashion-wise.
Obviously fashion-wise.
Yeah. In 2015, she did a little Louis Vuitton look and she like cropped her hair really short and she...
Was that the peroxide hair?
Okay, and she's wearing like a silver dress and it was just kind of like, you're playing into it. Like that's what this to me is also about. It's about being a character. It goes back to if you're just going to do your straight hair and your usual makeup and you wear a fashion, it doesn't include the whole thing. It doesn't give me the fantasy of the Met, which I think a lot of it now is about that sort of fantasy. And so the idea of like her laying herself into this more Nicolas Ghesquière, Louis Vuitton, because that's what she wore, idea of like futuristic and like it's kind of retro. It's cool. And I think that is what I really respect is when people really play into the gig and the gag. And that's when the research comes out. And that's when I'm like, I clap. I clap for those. Yeah. So who else? I think like a Doja Cat when she was the Doja Cat was fun.
Right.
You know, like those sort of out there sort of like the Lady Gaga sort of performance for camp. Even though like the fashion, I wouldn't say it was my favorite ever. It was the idea of like, you know what camp is. You understand Susan Sontag. Like you, and so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give a 10-minute performance on a red carpet that you're allowed to like walk on for maybe 5 minutes. So it's like those things are really, really great. And then there's a couple of people that I would say every year nail it. Like a Rihanna, I think always nails it. I think Teyana also is one that sort of always goes for it. So there's a Zendaya, I think too, is another great one. I love speaking of Zendaya, but it's not about Zendaya, is the Claire Danes light up dress. I don't know if you remember the Cinderella
moment.
Was that her first time at the Met Gala?
I
or
don't
maybe
know if it
her
was the
second
first, but that was my first Met because I was interning for Zach Posen at the time. And so we were in the office and like randomly the week before they would just like shut the lights off. And we were all like, what's happening? Confused. And they'd be like, we just need to turn all the lights off in the office. And I was like, okay, well, like I'm not seeing anything, so I don't know why we need to do the whole thing.
You call HR.
Yeah.
You're like working under like candlelight.
Like 100% with little speckles on. And so that was like I stayed there before they went out. So like I think it's Hugh Dancy is her husband.
Yeah.
And he talked to me and he's so hot. And like my Princess Diaries crush like jumped out. Not Princess Diaries, Ella Enchanted.
Yes.
Jumped out.
Great
and that
movie we do not talk
I
about.
love an Anne Hathaway scholar. Like, thank you so much.
Big fan.
Somebody
fan.
loves
Huge.
incredible cover.
Exactly.
Really good cover in that movie. Yeah.
Honestly,
We could do that separate podcast.
And if a giant asked me to sing that, I would
immediately,
too. 100%. So that's like also another personal great one for me.
Yeah, those are good ones.
I want to talk about Beyonce. A few of her Met Gala looks I've liked, a few of them I really have not. But this is like her big return to the Met Gala after several years, and she's on the hosting committee. How do you feel about Beyonce making her grand return?
I'm excited. I think Beyonce also probably in the past few years through like the Renaissance and the Cowboy Carter has really sort of been very heavy fashion-wise. I feel like she's used it really as like a big lens to, create a visual language regarding the music and the performances. So I'm interested to see if she does lean in. I'm sure she will. And I feel like there was a lot from Renaissance, I did like a 45-minute video on like a lot of the looks. Her and her team, I think Shiona Turini is her stylist. And so I think that when they were doing the Renaissance of it all, it leaned a lot into artistic references and like pulling from different artists and all those kinds of things. So I'm also interested to see who she wears because I don't think Beyonce is really like I don't think she needs to be a brand ambassador for anybody. Must be nice. So I'm kind of wondering who she's gonna wear and if she's really gonna like play up the fashion is art, art is fashion kind of thing. Because some people she's kind of big enough that like she doesn't have to, and she's also big enough so she doesn't have to go to the Met. I think some of them have like graduated out of the I think it's the same thing as Taylor Swift. Like they don't really have to. They don't need the press in that way. Yeah. And so I'm kind of like, wait, that sounds really nice. I'm jealous. I would love to. I would love to not.
I kind of forgot that it's been like a decade since she had come.
That's crazy.
Which in a way that I was like, good for you. Yeah. Take a load off. Yeah. You don't need this. You need to walk.
Please.
How dare us.
Somebody's gonna carry you. It's fine.
Any predictions for this year on any like misinterpretations of the theme or someone who's gonna totally nail it or totally flop?
Other than Kim, which I think
I mean,
seems like that goes without saying.
Kim leaves a comment and she's like, well, what the fuck?
She's like, damn.
She's like, let me fail first. Jeez.
I don't want to say that I think Lauren Sanchez will nail it because I think that's a strong word, but I do think that she's probably going to wear something on theme like a adjacent. I've like been hearing rumblings about like who she's gonna wear, and we've been hearing it since like January. It's a very artistic brand. I'm not gonna spread the rumors, but keep the people guessing. And they showed in January. It's very artistic, inspired by a certain artistic movement. But who else? I'm trying to think of who else like will be going, but I think a lot of people are going to recycle a bunch of ideas. The idea that I keep thinking about is Tracee Ellis Ross for I think it was the camp exhibit wore sort of like a frame, a gilded frame, and it was inspired by an artistic photo movement, I think maybe like based out of Harlem from like the 70s, 80s, 90s. And so I think people are maybe going to try to like do that, or there's going to be a lot of, I did a print. I took a Met landscape.
This is a stripe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be very that.
Yeah.
And so I also try not to predict too much if that also makes sense, which makes me a terrible...
Well, it's hard to predict, I think.
It's because there's so many ranges of interpretations and expertise levels. So, I try not to get too deep into the who's really going to do it. I try to get more deep into like sharpening my knife so that I know when I'm cutting. And also for the audience, like what we do usually every year is like an explainer video on YouTube that it's like, okay, here's your pitchforks. Enjoy my team. Enjoy my
Go
people.
out there and stab.
Get out there. Get out there and get them.
It's like you're sending them out into battle
Literally,
on your
like,
behalf. I
and
love
you're
that.
ready.
Oh
And you're
my
ready.
God. I love
so
that.
it's fun. No, it's important to like cultivate the next, generation of hateful
haters.
people in the world. Yeah. It's
No,
helpful.
raise them up right.
No, it's-
I think you should.
You can do it. Just know your references. It's helpful.
As long as you're ready.
Yeah, exactly.
I have one last question. Just out of curiosity, okay, there's been a lot of like creative director turnover in the fashion space at Loewe, at Dior, at Valentino, at Chanel. Oh my gosh. So what do you think what effect will that have, or should we expect that to have on the carpet? Do you think that's like everyone's like trying to bring their tens?
I think they might, because I felt like the Oscars this year was really that. It was very heavy, I would say, on like Chanel and Dior. Those were kind of, I would say, the two big brands that were sort of like battling, but not really battling for like red carpet dominance. And so I think Jonathan Anderson is really great when it comes, and he's a Dior, when it comes to artistic lenses and references. And I think even just this weekend was Coachella, and Sabrina Carpenter was wearing a couple of his couture looks that were a little bit more artistic, and I was kind of like, what's happening? But I think interpreting it on somebody like Sabrina for her Coachella performance, it was like, you can take that artistic lens and sort of bring it into like a fashion-y view. And I think the same thing with Mathieu Blazy at Chanel is he's really great in the sense of mixing sort of craft and artistic, but at the same time very wearable. So he's like really heavy on embellishments and beadings and things like that. And if any of you have seen the denim styles that Bottega did when he was there, it looks like denim, but it's really leather because Bottega is a leather house. And so I'm excited to see like specifically those two, how they sort of like put forth for their first Met, really artistic ideas and lenses on, what their brands are going to hold, for the next however many, hopefully, decades. So.
Okay, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
And then we'll close out. Do you have any dream Met Gala hosts? And they can be fictional characters if you want.
Ooh, dream Met Gala host. And like that's like co-host, like standing up there with Anna.
Like the Mount Rushmore.
Ooh. I will say that I am very like team hacks. And so like a Deborah Vance or like a Joan, like obviously Joan R.I.P. Is like kind of a great one. Another really good one I would say is like Charles James, who is a designer who's deceased, but
was he Phantom Thread?
Yeah.
Was that,
he was like and so he had a Met exhibit too, but he was really like wonderful, but he also was like such a bad boy. And he would like tell the girls why they sucked. And so maybe I'll put like Alexander McQueen in there as well. Because he also was if he was still around, he would be canceled like 75 million times. And yet him on Twitter would have been back. So yeah, I think that's like a pretty solid like like Mount Rushmore kind of, you know,
get
you
some
want
bitches up in here.
Yeah, you want like somebody up there that's like, ew, you wore that, you know, and it's away from the cameras.
I miss when we were strict as a society.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it was a different time.
It's true. It's
now
true.
we're strict in the wrong ways.
Yeah,
Where I'm like, oh
yeah.
God.
No, it's we're well, yes. Well, yes.
But thank you so much for coming and talking all things Met Gala with us. We like really needed this lesson actually.
God.
Yes.
No,
I
We're
learned
gonna
so
be
much.
we're gonna serve Colin that thumbnail. Just by the way, we're gonna give thumbnail. I'm so
That's
ready.
it. I'm prepared.
And where can people follow you?
Any accounts Hautelemode. It looks like, you know, Hautelemode, Hautelemode. I think I spelled it right. So yeah,
I love trench coat bun to the top.
Thank you. It's
Or is it
Christopher
field
John
dry-
Rogers for Old Navy.
Oh,
The collection is
how did
so
you even get it?
good.
Oh my gosh!
she
I think
went
it's been so
to-
competitive.
Did you go to
I went
that
to
event?
Times Square. I went to Old Navy in Times Square, and I bought, and I bought, and I bought, and I bought. My credit card said stop.
I'm gonna
Stop,
say
stop.
VIC.
Yeah. Old Navy VIC.
Oh, nice. I want like a
Yes. Yeah.
You were so proud of me for remembering that.
It was great. It was great. So yeah, thank you so much,
That was
Christopher.
so good. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay, that's a wrap on episode 1.
Episode 1, we're back. It's
We
like
really-
the spirit tunnel.
We need a buzzer. We need a or it could just be me doing that every
I think
single
it's
time.
just you.
Yeah.
I wish I could have a button that did that,
Does that
but I
hide?
do think it's just you. But okay, question for the culture.
Mhm.
Is there something that we've missed or something that should be on our radar? I mean, you all got us in a summer house.
Yes, thank you for that.
She's about to get me in the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get her into
Mess, trouble. What?
always. What can I say? But what should we be watching, listening to, hearing about, thinking about? Let us know.
If it's Ladies of London, should we start there?
Oh, I've heard Rhode Island. I've heard Rhode Island. Yeah.
Maybe we answered the question.
You know what?
Let us
We did the work. But let us know.